everyone, today I wanted to do a video all about study tips for back to school, and I guess it's not really just for back to school, for any time really during the school year. I'm a pretty intense studier, which sounds very lame, but you know, obviously you need to study to do well, so I have a few tips that I wanted to share with you guys. First being that you need to find a space that you are most comfortable studying in. And for me, my space was sprawled out on the floor of my room. I found that it was really easy because I could put all my books around me. I have everything within, arm's distance, so I can grab any book that I need. And it was just really convenient for me that way. Some of my friends preferred studying on their bed, or if you have a desk, if you like that, then, just figure out whatever place is best for you. Also, you need to figure out if you like having background noise, or if you want it, totally silent, or if you want music to zone everything else out. I actually really like listening to music when I'm studying or when I'm doing my homework. And these are the headphones that I use. These are really, really nice headphones. I'm a big fan of them. They're SMS audio headphones, and they're the Street by 50 Cent. So they're really, really awesome. They have like this flat cord so they don't get tangled, which is amazing because I stinking hate when my headphones get tangled. So these headphones are like amazing for that. They really, the audio is just so great, and you can completely zero out everything else. So it really helps to focus. Now, when I would take notes in class, I like to color code things because I found that it really helps me when I was studying. I like things to be a little bit interesting, when I'm looking at it when I'm studying. I like when the colors pop out. If a teacher was explaining a definition, I would write the word in a different color and then define it in like black or blue, so that it just really helps you focus on the important things in your notes. And what I did when I was studying is, if I had a textbook for a certain class, I would kind of skim through my notes and look at the main topics, and then go to my textbook and read the excerpt on, whatever it was that my notes were about. And then I would just continue to do the same thing, not really relying too heavily on my notes, but really looking into the textbook. Now, you do have to consider if your teacher is, a textbook kind of person, or if they rely more on the notes. But for me, a lot of my classes were textbook heavy, so that's what I did. And then I ended up using my notes as kind of like a refresher for me, and like almost like a quiz. So after I looked through the textbook at all the topics, then I would go through my notes at the end and just see if I, really got everything, and if everything made sense to me and I really understood everything. So that really helped me out because I was reading and retaining information, but at the same time I was reviewing at the end. Another little thing, which a lot of people might disagree with me on, but I'm the type of person that just says skip flashcards altogether. I know that they do help you because by writing it down you are, that's a form of studying, but for me, I honestly think they're a little bit of a waste of time. All they do is save you a little bit of space so you don't have to carry a book around, you just have to carry the flashcards. So I just say skip them all together and just focus on looking at your notes and trying to retain the information that way. Or if it's a vocab book or something, I would just cover the definition and just look at the word, and it's the same thing as a flashcard, so you just end up saving time. Another thing to keep in mind is when you are studying, you have to constantly kind of take little breaks. I have a pretty long attention span for studying, but even I like to take a short break every half an hour or so. If you're studying for, say, an hour and a half, then you can take 2 breaks, and one break you can, if you're listening to your music already, you can, just listen to 1 or 2 songs, just chill out, or you can go get a snack or something like that. I like to study. What I did was I would study a little bit before dinner, then eat dinner, and then study a little bit after, so that was always nice. Now, this next thing is basically what your mother and your teacher and everyone's going to tell you, but you really need to space out your studying. I started spacing out my studying, I think, junior year, and it really, really helped me so much. You don't want to start studying the day before a test, unless it's like a really baby test or something, but I started studying, like if I had a gov test and it was on a whole chapter, I would do a section or a unit a day. So if there's 5 units and my test was on Friday, I would start studying on Monday, doing unit 1 on Monday, unit 2 on Tuesday, and so on, so that on Thursday you don't have to study the entire chapter. It's just a really, really nice way to study, and you'll end up, although you are putting a lot of time into it, you'll end up saving the stress of having to cram before the night before the test. So I think it's worth it. And that way you're actually learning the information instead of just memorizing it and spitting it out on the test. Another thing to think about if you are very serious about your studies is to form study groups for certain classes. It was for my advanced pre-calculus class, and it was my senior year, so I didn't utilize study groups until then, but it was so helpful. Sometimes your teacher can't really get through to you the way other students can, and study groups really helped me out. I had a really great study group. We were all very serious about our work and we all wanted to do well, so we fed off each other and really helped each other out. It's very good for finals or for exams because you can, you know, if you don't understand something, one of your friends can teach you. Plus you can snack the whole time, so it really makes it all worthwhile. And the last kind of tip I have is, this sounds so silly and I feel like I'm such a nerd when I say this, but if your teacher assigns reading in the textbook or your workbook, you should do it. Just do it. Because usually the teacher will say, read section 1 and then we'll talk about it tomorrow in class. So if you actually read section 1 that night, the next day in class, the stuff that you were hearing from your teacher and that the stuff that they're explaining is stuff that you already kind of vaguely remember a little bit, and when they explain it again, it really will stick in your head and help you understand it so much better. So that's something to definitely not take lightly. You really want to read whatever your teacher assigns, even if it's kind of long and boring and So those are just some of my tips that I learned the past 4 years in high school, so I hope they help you guys out, and have an awesome day. Bye guys. Why'd I clap?